RocSports. I'm back with another video. Let's get right into it. Canelo and Triple G is here. The trilogy is here. You here for it? Let's get into my prediction. So, Canelo, Triple G. Canelo just recently lost to Dimitri Bivol, and I feel like this is definitely a cherry pick fight. Let's just be honest. Let's just call it what it is. I know this may sound harsh, like in terms of me, the way how I'm starting my video. And if you see me over here, I just got a couple of notes. People that's first time clipping on my channel. But I think that this is a cherry pick, man. They're just trying to catch Triple G at the wrong time. In terms of, he's 40 years old. Props to Triple G for still taking this fight, for still being active. But this is just not on an even playing field, though. When you look at Triple G's legacy, and when you come back and look at his box rec and history, and you come back and look at the timing of this fight, why is this fight happening now? Why didn't we get this fight a couple years ago? Let's just be honest. Let's call it what it is. Why does all of a sudden, like, what does this win do for Canelo? It closes a chapter that was closed already. You already have done so much more since the Triple G fights. So why do we need this fight? That's just me, though. That's just me. I'm not saying that it's a terrible fight, but to me, it's just better fights out there for Canelo. Now, in terms of Triple G, you got the fight. More credit to you. You get one last payday. I'm pretty sure this is Triple G's last fight, regardless of how he go out. But let's get right into the fight. Well, first, let's talk about their last fight. So, he lost to Dimitri Bivol. Canelo has had a hell of a run the past couple of years. It's all-time great, the run that he's been on. But when you look at the very last fight and what he's coming off of, the way he lost, I believe that Canelo is itching to get back into the ring. Plus, when you look at the standpoint of, again, he was on a hell of a run. So all of his momentum sort of dropped a notch, a big notch. Because, again, the way he lost, he didn't just lose a close decision. Canelo got close to being dominated the last fight, which you could argue he got dominated. I mean, it was competitive in moments, but he kind of got dominated, man. But people that want to try to take that you know, remove that stain off his resume as if it didn't happen because he moved up in weight, I'm not that guy. I gotta factor that in. I gotta give you, we gotta talk about that just like we talk about all of your accolades. So again, he lost, but props to Canelo. He's still staying active as he's been, and he's back in the ring. So again, I know he's itching to get back in there and get that off of his, you know, remove that. Like if a team get blown out in the NBA or NFL, in the NBA, you might be able to get that off your back and get that bad taste out your mouth the very next night, or the NFL the very next week. In boxing, you got to wait another 3 to 6 months, you know what I mean, to remove that. So I know he's itching. I know he's anxious and all of that. But, so I said all of that to say, again, Triple G is 40. He's the big underdog in this fight. A lot of people thought Triple G won the first fight, and it was the draw. Canelo won the second fight, and now here we are. People don't think Triple G have a chance. And I'm going to be honest. I think that he don't either. I mean, I don't think he do either. I think that this is really a case of Triple G has a puncher's chance. And if he can hurt Canelo, obviously he has all-time great power within that weight class. If he can hurt Canelo, who knows? Who knows? But history could also be telling us that there's always a fighter that has trouble with a certain fighter or a certain style. We've seen the style that Canelo has a problem with. This could be the fighter, though. You know, Triple G could just have Canelo number from the standpoint of not necessarily beating him, but just giving us a great classic fight. And this could be another great classic fight. It really could be. You just put these two in the ring, regardless of what they doing, one's doing in one's career, they're going to make for a great fight. This could be the case, but I'm picking Canelo by late stoppage. I do think that he can stop Triple G. Why do I think that? Again, I think the biggest component that we have to factor into this fight is age and activity. All of the X's and O's, yes, little tweaks can be made for both guys, but they know each other, man. They got 24 rounds under their belts with no knockdowns in this fight or none of that. So they know each other for sure. I do believe, though, that both guys can hurt each other, for sure. So, but when you look at it from the standpoint of The activity, again, Canelo has been, this dude has fought 4 times a year. You know, he has fought 4 times in a year, should I say. Like, he's been very, very active over the past couple years. 2 to 3 fights a year for Canelo, easy. Whereas Triple G, since they last fought, which was in what, 2019, he's fought 3 times, 4 times since then. So 4 times in the past 3 years. And it's been from 2020 to now. Yes, I know the pandemic was in there. He hasn't really, you know, he just hasn't been active. And then when you factor in the competition, it's not nearly on the level as Canelo. Steve Rose, Zermeta, Murata, and Derevyanchenko. Derevyanchenko's the best on that list. Who hurt him to the body in that fight. Very competitive fight. Triple G arguably lost that fight. And then when you look at his most recent fight in April with Murata, he gassed out. His stamina, he showed a lot of fatigue in that fight and a lot of vulnerability, again, to the body, as did in the Derevyanchenko fight. So when you factor that in, Canelo's activity, his age, him coming off the loss, I think he's going to be extremely motivated. And I just think that it's a bad time. All of the cards are stacked against Triple G. Wouldn't it be something, though? History to see Triple G get a knockout like Marquez or something. You know, just trying to create some drama within this, because in terms of the fight, I do think it's going to be a very competitive fight. I do see Triple G, because we've seen certain styles give Canelo trouble, and now I think it's a matter of this fighter could be that just has his number from a standpoint of just a good fight, like I said earlier. So Triple G's jab, I think, is key to this fight. And his activity within the fight. He has to be active. He has to throw a lot of punches, mainly the jab. And he mixes it up well. And he gets power on all of his shots, Triple G do. But we're going to see, man. We're going to see. Canelo, 10th round knockout. It's not much else to touch on for this fight. Bam Rodriguez is on the undercard. Y'all know that's my boy. Y'all got to tune into that to see him. He's a hell of a fighter. And yeah, man, that's not as much all I got to say. Triple G and Canelo, that sells itself. 2 of the stars in this sport of this generation. And yeah, that's what it is. Stay tuned for the post-fight commentary or post-fight video. I will be dropping one. And yeah, stay tuned. It's RocSports. I'm checking out. All of my boxing, NFL, and NBA fans, like, share, and subscribe, man. Keep coming back. I'm gonna be dropping more content.